Well, first of all, thank you to Greg for the introduction and for the organisation. Thank you to the Churches of Emerald. Can you hear me? Yeah. Thank you to the Churches of Emerald. And thank you all for being here. Thank you for being awake and for supporting active democracy. I used to live in Emerald from 1990 to 1993 with my wife. My wife actually is an American. She's a dual citizen now. And she came from a city of 7 million people in Chicago in 1990 to 7,000 in Emerald, and she loved it. We had our first child here, a son, Shane, at the Emerald Hospital. We've got very fond memories of Emerald, very fond memories. As a senator, I'm free to speak the truth and advance policies that meet the needs of the Australian people. After 7 years listening across Queensland and Australia, and with parliamentary experience and resources, One Nation developed a suite of policies that will get young people into their own home, that will reduce the cost of groceries, petrol, electricity, insurance, housing and travel, and that will restore abundance and opportunity to all Australians. So let me ask you a question. Who knows better how to spend your money? Bureaucrats or you? Mary knows straight away. One Nation believes very strongly that you do. One Nation policy has 4 connected platforms. They're all connected. First platform is putting $40 billion of your money back in your pocket every year. How? Through saving $90 billion of federal waste and duplication. And no one even batted an eyelid. You know that 90 billion is correct. These have all been costed. Plus investing $20 billion annually in infrastructure to increase Australia's productive capacity, putting more money in your children's future pockets. And the last $30 billion is paying down extra $30 billion a year off the record Liberal Labor debt, which is almost $1 trillion. All of our policies, as I said, are costed. So firstly, putting more money back in your pocket. First item, income splitting via joint tax return filing for families with a dependent child. That'll put $9,500 a year back into the pockets of families of breadwinners on the average income. $9,500 a year. Next one, halving petrol and diesel excise tax, cutting fuel prices 26 cents a litre. By the way, these policies are so good that both the majors have copied some of them, or bits of them, and 3 of the minors have copied some of them. And that one is Dutton actually got it from us. Next one, cutting electricity bills 20% immediately. And I'm happy to explain this in Q&A. All these are costed and justified. And in 3 years, reductions of 50% in electricity prices thanks to new coal-fired power stations. Next one, abolish alcohol excise tax on beer and spirits served in hospitality venues to revive the hospitality industry and community social events. Cutting the fuel and electricity prices reduces every business's input costs, leading to higher productivity, lower inflation, cutting the CPI, lowering interest rates and reducing house loan payments, and reducing grocery and food prices. We will also allow pensioners to earn more without penalty. We will raise self-funded retirees' tax thresholds so people who've worked hard all their lives can earn up to $35,000 with no penalty. We will remove GST from insurance, general and rural. Insurance prices are killing people at the moment. We will fund the ACCC, the Competition and Consumer Commission, to investigate illegal behaviour from Coles and Woolies, from insurance companies and airlines. Anthony Albanese and Jim Chalmers cut $10 million off their budget, the ACCC's budget, at a time when prices are rampant. So we will bring that back and add more. Increase Medicare rebate $3 billion a year to promote bulk billing and crack down on Medicare and PBS fraud. As I said, all these are costed. Next, the spending reform. No one else is talking about spending reform, but you know it's being wasted. You're paying through the nose through tax. We will shrink the government to fit the Constitution. It's got out of hand, eliminating $90 billion of waste and duplication. First item. We will shut the Department of Climate Change and Energy and related agencies, departments, programs, schemes, regulations, rules, saving more than $30 billion in waste. Plus, increasing the efficiency right throughout the economy by freeing up the economy. Plus, it'll save $3 billion a year on taxpayers because the government's electricity bill itself will come down $3 billion. We'll end UN net zero. We will withdraw from the UN Paris Agreement. We will tax gas exports to force the world's biggest tax evaders to pay Australia $13 billion in tax. We will eliminate federal departments that are duplicating state responsibilities. If you have a look at the Constitution, it lists some of the functions of government. Most of them are in the hands of the state government, but the federal government's taken them over, and both are now doing it, which is causing a lot of waste. Next, we will eliminate waste across the Aboriginal industry, saving $15 billion a year. This is not just a saving measure. This is about improving the care for Aboriginals, because at the moment we've got so many activists, consultants, lawyers, academics and bureaucrats all fiddling with it, and the money is being wasted between the taxpayer and the Aboriginal communities. It doesn't get to the Aboriginal communities. We'll replace all those parasites with direct community grants and real jobs for real care. We've seen the Aboriginals, they want, I've been to every Aboriginal community on Cape York 3 times, and they want autonomy. And that's the only way to get accountability, giving people the authority. That's real care. We'll return the NDIS to providing reasonable and necessary support, saving $20 billion rotting and waste. We'll abolish the federal education and housing departments. Let it go back to the states where it belongs in the Constitution. We'll abolish the TGA, the Therapeutic Goods Administration, and make it responsible to Parliament again, which is where it should be. We will withdraw from the United Nations and the UN World Health Organization. I first mentioned that in 2016 in my first speech in the Parliament. Now it's part of One Nation policy, to get out of the UN. We'll address the housing catastrophe by working on demand, supply, building prices and inflation to reduce mortgage payments and rents. For a start, deport 75,000 people who are here illegally. Deport them. Next, we'll stop mass immigration. Each year, as 220,000 people leave, allow only 130,000 skilled people to enter. That's net negative migration. Net negative migration. We have got people homeless, sleeping in tents, cars, caravans, and I'm talking about working families, mums and dads coming home to their car, seeing if their kids are still there. Where do they go to the toilet? Where do they go to the shower? Cairns, Townsville, Mackay, Rockhampton, Gladstone, Bundaberg, Maryborough, Gympie, Ipswich, North Sunshine Coast, Gold Coast, Beaudesert, people sleeping homeless. Our capital city has got homeless people living under bridges, working families. These are good people. And the cause of it is rampant immigration, which I can get onto in Q&A. We'll reduce foreign students and cut their Ponzi scheme. We've got about 600,000 foreign students, international students here in the country. There are beds for 100,000. Where do they go? They go into the market that you're in. So, and what they're doing is they're repatriating about $10 to $11 billion a year back home. They're here to be cheap labour. That's what they're here for. And they're taking up beds, taking up roofs, and they're taking up jobs. We'll ban foreign ownership of real estate and farms, just as New Zealand and Canada have recently done. We'll replace the government's failed Housing Future Fund, which has not built any houses, with a people's mortgage, a loan with a term up to 30 years, 5% fixed interest rate, and that can incorporate the HECS loans. That frees up people to enter the housing market at an earlier stage. We will continue to pursue COVID fraud to get compensation for lockdowns, restrictions, and COVID injuries, COVID injection injuries. They're hideous. There are thousands of people dead from these things, and there are thousands of people who are crippled for life. We'll get treatment for the vaccine injured. We will stop the shots. We will restore personal and medical freedoms, which have been abused. More details at onenation.org.au, onenation.org.au. One Nation will shrink the federal government to fit the Constitution, grow Australia's productive capacity to create wealth and abundance for all, reduce debt to lower budget interest payments, and take wasted money from government to put more money back in your pockets. One Nation believes and values a social security safety net that helps those who can't help themselves, and a government that uses its power for good, not evil. We will protect Australians from rapacious global corporations. For this to happen, we only need one thing: your number one vote. Thank you.
Authorised Malcolm Roberts, Brisbane.